Well, let's get more, and we can cross to Glasgow and speak to Madagascar's Minister of the Environment. Thank you so much for joining us, Vahinala Raharinirina. Thank you for speaking to us from the sidelines of COP26. Now, I just wanted to start by asking you about something that your president said. The president of Madagascar says that the famine that's currently ravaging your country is the price for a climate crisis that we didn't create. What did he mean by that, and what is the situation there in Madagascar right now?
Yeah, actually Madagascar is one of the most vulnerable countries due to climate change, and the deep south of Madagascar is really suffering from it. We have drought, we have lack of waters, and we have this famine as consequence, direct consequence from the negative impact of climate change. And actually the real problem is that agriculture is very difficult without water. We have also now movement of climate migration from the south to the west part of the country or to the north part of the country. And the situation won't be positive for the next years, because we saw the projections from the meteo services who showed that we will have less water for the next decade, and we will also have more drought, and consequently the famine is a real issue and a big challenge for Madagascar. And the president of Madagascar, Mr. Angela Duena, pointed out the fact that even if we have public investment, the lack of budget from the polluters, and what was promised during the COP21 is really needed to help the government in these infrastructures and in these adaptation policies that we are now beginning in Madagascar.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a bit more about those projects in a minute, but I just want to ask you, when we listen to that message from many countries, not just Madagascar, but other countries, which is, we didn't create these problems, and I'm talking about famine in the case of Madagascar, but in other places it's drought, there's floods, but those countries say we're suffering the consequences. When people say that in a summit like COP26, how do the richer countries respond?
Yes, actually the main objective from the countries like Madagascar, Africa, and the list of developed countries is just to show that this climate change is the result of 300 years of Anthropocene industrialization. So we need to have the engagement, the commitment of the countries who promised this funding, this climate finance for the countries in the LDCs and these small islands like Madagascar. And the other point, which is very important, is that we are in the same voice saying that even if we have these public policies, this gap of climate finance is really weakening our economy, our sustainable policies, and humanity, entire humanity. If the south part of the world is suffering, we can't have a world living in a peaceful world and a post-COVID-19 with growth. We need this cooperation, this climate solidarity, in order to help these countries in the action plans for these adaptation policies.
And do you get the impression that richer countries are changing the way they're responding to this charge, which is that they're responsible for the pain that other people are suffering? Are they changing their response? Is there more of a sense of realization and a sense of responsibility amongst them now?
I think the COVID-19 crisis changes the speech from the rich countries. They are talking about economic crisis, but the fact is that this promise should be done, should be transformed into action and into finance climate. Even those least developed countries or small islands were facing also the crisis. So we need to double or to triple this solidarity. And the other point is that the climate finance is vital for the economies of most of those countries who are vulnerable.
Yeah, and you mentioned just a moment ago that richer countries had promised in previous summits to pay $100 billion each year to help poorer and vulnerable nations to cope with climate change. I just wanted to ask you, what's that money used for? And have they made good on that pledge? Has that money been delivered?
Yes, this money was supposed to finance the adaptation action plan for many countries. If I take the case of Madagascar, we did this plan. We are one of the 6 countries who finished this plan. So now we have the action plan, adaptation policies for many sectors like environment, like energy, like water, like transportation. And now we need this funding to realize all these activities, all these infrastructure and also the technologies that the North promised to the South. Madagascar needs this to be realized, and as I said previously, this is vital to help us to the adaptation process that is really important. We don't have choice. Madagascar has to adapt itself and being a resilient country to climate change.
Okay, well, we're out of time. We're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. Madagascar's Minister of the Environment.